Everyone, happy Friday. Today we're going to be talking about the famous 50-year mortgage. This is a topic that I have seen on the news, on the radio, on social media. Definitely a lot of opinions and commentary, and I want to jump on here and talk about what I think about it. Let's be honest. Not everyone can qualify for a 30-year mortgage, so obviously I believe that the government is creating these options to make it more accessible to others. Is it the best option for everyone? No. Just because it exists doesn't mean you have to essentially take it and use it. Let's talk about, for example, adding 20 years to your mortgage. What is that going to do to your payment? I'm going to put two examples on the screen here of somebody with a 50-year mortgage, somebody with a 30-year mortgage. The difference in payment is about $300. Now, what does this mean later down the line? As you know, you pay principal and interest on a loan beside your escrows. So let's talk about what would happen if you add 20 years to your mortgage. On average, let's say at a 6.5 interest rate, you're paying $36,000 in interest yearly. So let's do the math. 36,000 times 20 is $720,000 more in your loan term. So that's how much interest you're going to be paying only during those extra 20 years. Does it make sense for an investor who, after he does his numbers, he realizes that with expenses and with maintenance, he's still covering the mortgage, but he knows he's going to pay off that property quicker than the 50 years? Yes, maybe it makes sense for him because initially he's going to be profiting more if his mortgage is $300 less. Does it make sense for that first-time home buyer who doesn't qualify and that $300 payment is going to be the difference to let him qualify? Yes, it makes sense for them. But if you qualify with a 30-year mortgage, statistically, nobody stays in their mortgage for more than 8 years. During the 3, 5, 8-year period, most people refinance because they either want to cash out or they sell the home and they move somewhere else, or they refinance and they lower their rate. There's a bunch of reasons. I did a little video on all the reasons to refinance, or most of them, and most people do not stay in the same mortgage for 50 or 30 years because the market changes. So do I think that the 50-year mortgage is worth it? I think it's a great option to have. The more options, the merrier. No pun intended, because we are hitting Christmas soon. But I believe, yeah, like, go for it if it makes sense. Just know that these loans are alternate loans. They're not a traditional loan. You're not going to have the same interest rates. So that's also something to go ahead and test out. The difference between a 6.5% on a conventional loan with a 20% down payment, your mortgage is going to look like this. Now, with this traditional mortgage, you have a lower interest rate. So when we take it over to a 50-year term, what interest rate are you going to be getting? Because it's not, most likely, not going to be a 6.5. These are my opinions and things I've noticed with the 50-year mortgage. Questions you should be making yourself if you do plan on utilizing this loan. Am I going to be paying off my property sooner than the 50 years? Am I going to be able to refinance out of this loan without a problem? Can I make the monthly mortgage? Do I think I'm going to stay in with this loan for the next 5 to 10 years?